The ThruNite T10, one of my all-time favorite EDC lights. It's small, it's lightweight, it's easy to carry with its nice little loop over clip, and it was difficult to switch on by accident in your pocket thanks to its nice recessed tail cap switch. And it had a nice simple user interface. You only had 3 different brightness settings. You had the very, very low firefly mode that so many ThruNite flashlights have, and that's one of my favorite features of ThruNite flashlights. That is 0.45 lumens. Then we have 24 lumens on medium. And finally we have 250 on high, or turbo, as ThruNite calls it. And while 250 lumens doesn't exactly sound state-of-the-art anymore, it's still pretty awesome. It's still nothing to scoff at coming out of a flashlight this small. Definitely enough to get the job done and make most people who have used cheap dollar store flashlights all their lives say, "Wow, that's bright." So in a flashlight this small, it's pretty awesome. Some of those big mag lights back there put out less than 200 lumens, although they have deeper, larger reflectors and they can throw the light further. They're actually still putting out less light than the little tiny T10, which has accompanied me on many road trips, many camping trips, and camping trips especially are where that nice low moonlight mode comes in handy if I need to find something in the tent at night without blinding myself. Awesome, awesome EDC flashlight, right? It's one of ThruNite's best models in my opinion. And this year they had to go and update it. This year they had to go and, so they say, improve it. And in some ways, the new version is better, but in some ways I still prefer the old version. I am not entirely sure if this came out this year or if it came out last year. Here we have the T10 V2, which, like the original T10, is running just a single AA battery. It's not very big. In fact, if I stand these side by side, the T10 V2 is actually just a hair shorter than the original T10. And that tail cap switch that I liked so well on the original T10 has been replaced with a side switch. And, okay, to be fair, this hasn't been a problem so far. Maybe it's recessed just enough that I haven't managed to switch it on by accident. And I have yet to pull this out of my pocket to find that it's been turned on by accident in my pocket, and it's just been wasting my battery in my pocket. So, in all fairness, the side switch has yet to be a problem, but we'll see. You no longer have the orange peel reflector that you did in the original T10. We just have a regular smooth reflector in the T10 V2. And what was I talking about? I was talking about the switch, excuse me. The tail cap switch that the original had has been replaced with a magnetic tail cap, which could actually be really useful, I will admit. Sticking it to stuff and being able to point the light where you need it, like underneath the hood of your car or whatever, could potentially be very, very useful. Whoops. Is that going to stay on there? Here, let's try this. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's a pretty strong magnet that's not going anywhere. So, while I liked the original T10 switch a lot better than this, yeah, that magnetic tail cap is definitely a nice feature. Also, with this side switch, we have shortcuts to our lighting modes that we did not have on the original T10. The original T10 just had mode memory. So let's say I put this in medium. I'm using it in medium, and then I switch it off, and I come back and I turn it on again 30 seconds from now, 30 minutes from now, 30 days from now, and it's going to be in medium still. And I have to do a half press of the switch to cycle through the modes if I want to get back to moonlight, or go through high and risk blinding myself, or look away or cover the head of the light so I can switch modes without blinding myself in a place where my eyes are already adjusted to the dark. Well, the T10 V2 solves that problem by having shortcuts. See, what mode was I even in? See, I don't remember what mode I was in. Let's see, it looks like it's in one of the lower modes or one of the medium modes. But if I wanted to go straight to moonlight, so I don't risk blinding myself, again, maybe I'm someplace where my eyes are already adjusted to the dark, and I just need a little bit of light to see, a little bit of light to find something in my car or in the tent. I just press and hold the switch. And we have a still pretty effective moonlight, or again, firefly mode as ThruNite calls it. But that to me seems to be another thing that the original T10 does better. Now these are both switched on. You can see that it's definitely switched on. But the firefly on the original T10 is very, very faint compared to the T10 V2. So I feel like the firefly mode is definitely better on this one. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if they're using different emitters, or the difference in the reflectors has something to do with it. Or maybe everything I said is just completely wrong and you can yell at me in the comments. I don't know. Just to me, the firefly mode on the original T10 seems better. And we press and hold the T10 V2 switch to go up through the different brightness settings. I notice it only cycles to medium and high, or turbo as ThruNite calls it. And if I want to get back to moonlight, I actually have to switch this completely off and press and hold again to get it to come on in moonlight, or firefly. I keep calling it moonlight. Oh well. And it's also worth noting on the top end, when it's as bright as it can go, this is only 180 lumens versus 250 on the original T10. That is if you're running a simple AA battery, and this one like you had to use in the original T10. So this is one way the T10 V2 really outshines, no pun intended, really outshines the original T10, and that is you now have the option to use either a regular AA, like I have in the light now, or you can use a rechargeable 14500. In this case I have my Olight 750 milliamp rechargeable lithium ion 14500. Say that 5 times real fast. And it's worth noting the 14500 is a hair taller than a regular AA. So going in here, feeling the spring tension as I screw down the head of the light, it's noticeably tighter. And now on turbo, we, instead of just 180 lumens, we now have double the power of the original T10. That is 250 lumens on its highest setting. Again, if I double tap the T10 V2 switch, it is going to go to 500 lumens. Oh yeah. 500 lumens in a flashlight about the size of my thumb. That's pretty awesome right there. But it seems to me you lose the moonlight mode while running a 14500. Maybe I'm not using the right type of 14500. You saw all the information on the side of my battery before I put it in the light. If I'm using the wrong type of battery, that it doesn't perform right or I could damage the light, again, just yell at me in the comments. I can take it. Now if I press and hold this to go to Moonlight, Firefly, there I go calling it Moonlight again, you could hardly call that Moonlight or Firefly. That is a lot brighter than it was before. And again, I'll show you that I definitely am pressing and holding this to go to that mode like I'm supposed to. I'm not even sure how bright that is. That looks similar to the medium setting. Yeah, that's basically the same as the medium setting on the original T10. So maybe that's about 20, 25 lumens, something like that. I don't know. So that is definitely a con of running a 14500 in this, is you don't have that really, really low faint mode that I liked so well on the original T10. But on the plus side, on the top end, when you're running this just as bright as it can go, yeah, it's about twice as bright. And I forgot to show you the strobe feature while I had the AA in the light. Again, on its highest setting, it's 180 lumens using a regular AA battery, and so is the strobe. So we have 500 lumens on turbo, and now if I double tap this while I'm in turbo, we'll go to strobe. Oh yeah, let's have a rave. Flashlight rave. Woohoo! If you're epileptic and you're watching this video, I apologize. Oops. Wow. So, I don't know. Sure what the deal is with the what was the Moonlight setting when I had a regular AA in this. So if I'm just using the wrong type of battery, just tell me in the comments. And finally, the original T10's clip out of the box was just flush with the body of the light. The end of the clip was making contact, and this is made out of fairly thin metal. This has never been the tightest pocket clip in existence. There's been times where I wish it had just a little more tension, but I have yet to lose this light. It's never ridden up and out of my pocket and fallen out. It's actually been pretty secure in spite of the tension of this clip being questionable. If I can find a stock image of it where I can show you, the T10 V2's clip did not come like that, where it was actually resting against the body of the light. If I can find a stock image, I'll insert it into the video right here. And if I can't find a stock image, I'll just show you by holding the clip up. There was some air in between the clip and the body of the light. So I don't know what that's about. There was about that big of a gap, and I did not like that at all. It had almost no retention to it, and I've seen that in a few other video reviews of this light. It wasn't just mine that was like that. So what I did was, before I put the clip on mine, I took a piece of paracord, and along the length of the paracord, or the length of the clip, I looped the paracord over this fold in the clip where it loops over. Talking about with the clip off of the light, I wrapped the paracord around the light to protect the clip from getting scratched when I took the pliers in my Leatherman Juice CS4 and just kind of squeezed it. I kind of pinched this together to bring the end of that clip in close contact with the light, and it actually worked perfectly. That was a good fix, I think. And that is the ThruNite T10 V2 and the original T10. They both have their pros and cons. They both have things that I do and don't like. I think for camping purposes and going places where it's extremely dark and my eyes are going to be adjusted, I'm going to stick with the original T10, just because that Firefly mode is so awesome and so low, so faint. But then for just around town, around the house, in the car. I can see myself carrying this a lot and enjoying it. And impressing everybody who I show it to when they see how freaking bright this is on turbo. How far the technology has come. If you had told somebody 20, 30 years ago that we would have a flashlight this small and this powerful, I don't think they would believe it. So yes, the T10 V2 is pretty awesome. The original was pretty awesome too. If you can still find one, buy it, get it. I still recommend it highly. Good luck finding one. This was a $20 flashlight before, and now that this version is no longer being made, it's more like $40 or $50 that I've seen since it's been discontinued. I am glad to say, with the release of the new version, so far the price has not gone up. This is still one of the best values in an EDC flashlight, I think. It's still about 20 bucks, just like the old version was when it was still being made. With a 14500 battery for 20 bucks, you're getting 500 lumens, again in a flashlight about the size of your thumb. I can't argue with that. That's pretty awesome. This was a pretty awesome little flashlight, and ThruNite is known for making awesome flashlights. I like them real well so far. And this has been another long, rambling video brought to you by yours truly. If you've managed to last all the way to the bitter end, I applaud you. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. ThruNite T10 flashlights. Some of the best EDC options out there. Check them out.